Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bit different type of video. I'm going to be doing rating every single Fortnite season so far. I'll be starting from the pre-season all the way up to the current season. Now, these are all my opinions. Don't be dumb and don't be Twitter user and respect opinion, alright? Anyways, let's go. First up is the pre-season. This is the first season before seasons even existed. So it was pretty strange in many aspects, but without it, Fortnite Battle Royale wouldn't even exist. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Alright. Then we got Chapter 1, Season 1, a 7.5 out of 10, as it added some pretty decent features from the preseason. And then I'll give Season 2 a 9 out of 10, as it added very classic POIs such as Haunted Hills, Junk Junction, Shifty Shafts, Snobby Shores, and we can't forget Tilted Towers, of course. It also added many features like the Battle Pass, which is like one of the most known things in gaming now. Anyways, I'll give Chapter 1 Season 3 a 9.5 out of 10. This season had a great Battle Pass, and this is where Fortnite had its most players. I'm gonna give Chapter 1 Season 4 a 10 out of 10, as it added Dusty Divot, Hop Rocks, and most importantly, Thanos in his own game mode named Infinity Gauntlet. So I'm gonna give Chapter 1 Season 5 also a 10 out of 10. It's just as good, even better maybe. Uh yeah, and it even added an entirely new desert, so that's pretty cool. And I'm gonna give Chapter 1 Season 6 a 9 out of 10, as it was pretty good, but the zombies were pretty annoying. I'll give Chapter 1 Season 7 a 9 out of 10 as well, because it also added an entirely new biome. However, there was a pretty annoying thing such as like planes and swords. And I'm gonna give Chapter 1 Season 8 a 10 out of 10, as it added a volcano, a jungle biome, and even Thanos returning in a new Avengers game mode. Like, that's cool. Yeah. Anyways, Chapter 1, Season 9. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It added very many POIs, it added fort bites, and many more things. And this is where the ratings go down, as Chapter 1, Season 7, I'm going to give, or Chapter 1, Season 10, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10, because of this annoying thing called the mechs. Alright, and also there was taco time in that one POI, but anyways, now on to where the game started going a little bit up. Chapter 2, alright, Chapter 2 started off with very many things, such as a new map, obviously, and there was a new XP system with Battle Pass and stuff. However, there weren't many updates. So let's get on to the next season, because I'm gonna give one an 8 out of 10. All right, Chapter 2, Season 2, literally my favorite season. All right, it added 5 new POIs: the Grotto, the Agency, the Shark, and the Yacht, and the Rig. Very good POIs, especially the Agency. And it also added many features, such as, the new henchmen, the bosses, and a brand new look to the challenges and battle pass screen. And even Deadpool took over Meows's yacht. So, and yeah, Deadpool's cool. He also had his own mythics too, such as his Deadpool's dual hand cannons. And speaking of mythics, we have Sky's assault rifle and her grappler, Meows's Piao rifle. So those are pretty cool. And also, it had an amazing live event known as the Doomsday event. And it added some POIs. Anyways, up next is Chapter 2, Season 3. This season flooded the entire map and added new POIs and features. However, there were some pretty bad features, such as, marauders that constantly try to kill you, and they would also throw some stink bombs at you. I'll rate it an 8.5 out of 10. Next up is one of my favorite seasons from Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Season 4, the Marvel season. This season added so many new Marvel superheroes and mythics, and the Fortnite mares with Shadow Midas was very good. Next up, I'm gonna give that one a 10 out of 10. Anyways, next up is Chapter 2, Season 5. This season brought the 0 point out of hiding and added NPCs. Sand tunneling was added, but ended up being removed for like half the season due to one bug. Anyways, overall, I rate it a 9 out of 10. Chapter 2 Season 6 is very hated in the Fortnite community, as many people have it as their least favorite season. However, I strongly disagree. I like many of the things. However, I didn't really like the crafting system, and it had a lot of things, honestly, like wildlife. And I'm gonna rate it an 8 out of 10. The next season, Chapter 2 Season 7, is very good. All right, it introduced battle stars in a new way in the battle pass. Added UFOs in two ways: you could drive them and also get sucked up by them. The inflatable, which is like you could bounce around in like a cow thing, and the ray gun, and so much more. I'm gonna rate it a 9.5 out of 10. All right, on to the last season of Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Season 8. This season introduces the Sideways, a new custom tuna fish, and also there was Kevin the Cube, he got brought back for that season, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna rate it an 8.5 out of 10. On to Chapter 3. Chapter 3, Season 1, is my opinion, is one of the best seasons, and also the best Chapter 3 season. It added a brand new map, the desert, a snow biome, re-added tilted towers halfway through the season, and introduced the Spider-Man web shooters that were extremely fun to use. I give the season a 10 out of 10. Next up is Chapter 3, Season 2, and it completely removed what made Fortnite for the first 2 weeks. However, that was building. And people actually seem to like it. So, Epic Games decided to make it a permanent game mode, and it brought back a lot of players. They also added a form of sprinting that made you go pretty fast, and it was a new animation. Anyways, armored battle buses were added, but also tanks, and tanks weren't liked much. So I'm gonna give this season an 8 out of 10. After the war of the previous season, Chapter 3, Season 3, was themed around and spray painted many things about peace. It was very nice. However, there weren't many things until they added Dragon Ball Z, so that was pretty cool. It added a bunch of skins, mythics, and a mini battle pass, which was completely new at the time. I think this season deserves an 8.5 out of 10. The last season was themed around peace, however, this season destroys that peace, and had the worst live event with the chrome spreads, and honestly, the live event was mostly just mini games, and yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody did not like that. Not to mention the many crashes, 7 out of 10. On to the last three of the ranking. Going into Chapter 4, we have a lot. New map, augments, Shockwave Hammer, Dragon Ball Z again, the My Hero Academia, and so much more. 9.5 out of 10. Next up, Chapter 4, Season 2. This season, like the first season of Chapter 4, has a lot of things. The Kinetic Blade, an Attack on Titan crossover, a Star Wars crossover, and Across the Spider-Verse crossover. I mean, what more could you need? Oh yeah, and also a ranked mode, which completely replaced Arena. However, it was kind of controversial. So, yeah, and also, the big thing, UEFN, which is like a creation tool that was like 10 times better than creative mode in general, and you could create a lot of things with it. However, most people decided to create the OG map, and they weren't that good, honestly, at the start, but it's pretty good now. Anyways, 10 out of 10. On to the current season of Fortnite at the time I'm recording this. Chapter 4, Season 3. This season added mud, new POIs, an invisibility cloak, and more to come. 8 out of 10 so far, obviously, because this season just started recently. And that concludes my rating of 25 Fortnite seasons so far. And make sure to like if you liked it, and subscribe if you liked it, or I shoot you. Nah, I'm just kidding. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.